this beautiful island where there's so much to see. Every corner I turn, there's something there to remind me of my beautiful nation and what it means to me. Not a thing out of place, that's what's special about it. And do you hear?
Oh yeah, people, good night, good morning, good anything of the day it is, wherever you are in the world, you're tuned into Mikey Live. We want to say hello and welcome, people. This is where it all happens. We are talking about the good, the bad, and the Mikey. We know that we are coming out of a really interesting weekend. It was a long and exciting weekend from Friday to Sunday, Grenada Music Festival. Then on Monday, people, did what they had to do, unwind and thing on the beach and thing. So people, it was a nice weekend to be in Grenada. And if you missed that kind of weekend, let's make sure dine at again. You know what I mean? That's for all you who they are away, and for the people who are unsure as to whether or not they wanted to do something this weekend and they decided not to, well, you really miss out. We're going to be talking about that in a moment. By the way, and of course, it is a good time to invite you to share the program, people. You see, when I share the program, everybody gets to know what's happening on the business. We have things to tell you about that you will never hear anywhere else. We don't have no horse in the race, people. So we give you unbiased, uninfluenced, undiluted news on the program. So all you share the business, particularly those of you who are on Facebook. Yo, here what's going on. The headlines right now, we want to tell all you about it, boy. The United States, according to reports, had added Grenada and 9 other countries to its visa waiver program. You see smile on my face? You find I look like I'm joking? We ain't making it up. So we gonna tell all you about that in a moment. There was a fire, boy, at Kenco's property yesterday, out on the outfield, kinda. So we gonna tell all you about that. You know what I mean? Injured child recovers after falling off something like a top floor onto his head. They say somewhere within the range of 12 and 10 feet. The man lived to tell a tale. We gonna talk about that as well. The Grenada Music Festival, 3 days of explosive entertainment. Scotiabank has opened its doors for business, but it has some of its workers still, having some sort of protest. They had a little rebound and thing. We're going to talk about that. The Ministry of Education advises on a delay in the CPEA results. Some of them parents say nervous, boy. You know what I mean? Nervous about the results. Whatever will be, will be. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Be more concerned about your child doing good in school rather than passing an exam, because passing an exam don't really speak much, you know what I mean? Seriously. But anyway, let's leave that talk. We'll talk about that later on. The Royal Grenada Police Force, they were having their open house as part of its week of activities, and Police Week. We're going to tell you about that, some of the things that they had on display. We have an take a video and they will show you. Counterfeit EC paper notes in circulation. You know what I mean? So now we have the polymer, so they have to now be specific. So there is some counterfeit notes on the market, but it is a paper counterfeit because polymer has just come out and they can't counterfeit that. Not easy, you know what I mean? We're gonna be talking about that and more when we return from our first break, which, by the way, we have to let you know the headlines was brought to you through the kind compliments of Duty Free Caribbean, Colombian, Emeralds International, and WPG10. And speaking of WPG10, we'd like to welcome our viewers on WPG10. You see, when we come back, people, it's real news in all the Lily Lolo, so stay tuned.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom
for me and you.
I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. What a wonderful world.
We all look forward to our retirement, enjoying our golden years with family, friends, and loved ones. The best way to secure an income during retirement is through investments, savings, and an NIS pension. Thanks to improvements in healthcare, Grenadians are living longer, healthier lives. These years also need to be covered by a pension to guarantee a comfortable life. Today you contribute 9% and retire at age 60. But as benefit expenses continue to rise, and with longer lifespans, the NIS won't be able to provide pensions and other social security benefits at this rate. To continue providing benefits, the NIS will need to increase the contribution rate from 9% to 11%, a 2% overall increase shared between you and your employer. The retirement age will gradually increase from 60 to 65 over an extended period. Let's put this into perspective. If you earn $1,500 today, your contribution is $60 and your employer pays $75. With a 2% increase shared between you and your employer, you'll now pay $75 and your employer will pay $90. That's only a $15 increase. These are the types of social security changes being made worldwide. In fact, Grenada has one of the lowest pension age and contribution rate in the region. With these small changes, you'll be able to continue enjoying all social security benefits and retire between age 60 and 65 with the guarantee of a pension from the NIS. If these adjustments aren't made now, then by 2035, the NIS will need to increase your contribution rate to 22.5%. So, what can you do? Support the incremental changes and continue with the solidarity of the Grenadian people. A little change today for a convenient, happy future.
The Courts Home event is finally here. Now is the time to get all you need for your home. Create your sweet retreat with our bedroom ranges. Level up the family room with high-definition TVs, entertainment systems, comfy sofas or sectionals. Enjoy more home dining with a new set. Getting into home fitness? We've got that too. And find something shiny and new for your kitchen. All at the Courts Home event, where we have it all.
Okay, people, we'd like to welcome you back to Mikey Live. All right, so earlier, the first thing that we have to tell earlier about the honors, the queens, but the honors, we had 4 of our Grenadian brothers and sisters being part of the whole thing. They say that the Majesty Queen was graciously pleased to give orders for the following appointment to the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire, Civil Division 2, and the Order of the British Empire, CBD, Mrs. Clarice Charles, and that was for service to education, trade unionism, and foreign affairs. OBE, Dr. Michael Radix, for services to health and community service. MBE, Mrs. Sylvia Nayak, for service to business and community service. And Her Majesty Queen also graciously pleased to give the order to approve the award of the British Empire Medal, Civil Division 2, Mr. Raphael Anselm Johnson Coqueta. That's his calypso name. And that was for service to culture. And I mean, so when you walk, you are duly recognized. You had one man saying, I think it was Dr. Raddick, say, you don't know how we get at, but he wanted to say thank you and to the people who would have nominated him and things so. You know what I mean? Right. Just briefly, we want to tell you about this before we move on, boy. Grenada are doing real thing on the outside, you know. You understand? Caribbean Week in New York, hosted by the Caribbean Tourism Organization, the CTO, proved to be successful endeavor for the promotion of Grenada's tourism product. We got that in a press release from the Tourism Authority. It says that Grenada's delegation was led by Chairman of the Grenada Tourism Authority, the GTA, Mrs. Brenda Hood, Ms. Patricia Ma, that's the CEO of the GTA and Director of Sales, USA, Mrs. Christine Noel Hosford. They say that the destination's participation in a week-long schedule of events, which ran from the 2nd of June to the 7th, was supported by the island's North American Public Relations Agency, Zapwater Communications, under the leadership of Vice President and Account Manager Jennifer Johnson. It says that the delegation spent the week attending trade-focused events, including the Caribbean Marketing Conference, an interactive seminar dedicated to enhancing marketing initiatives on June 5th, that happens on June 5th, and Media Marketplace, a media showcase that provided a platform for leading editors, writers, and social media influencers to meet and discuss the latest development from the island, and that was on June 6th. In addition, CEO Ma and Chairperson Hood conducted one-on-one interviews with Style Music TV, Caribbean One TV, Island Vibes, Loop TT, and Caribbean Media Corporation. You know, the highly anticipated Caribbean Tourism Industry Awards dinner, an event dedicated to recognizing journalists and photographers who's written captivating and influential stories spotlighting the region, was also held on June 6th. So they say the whole thing was nice and thing. In fact, if you want to know more about this, we posted on our website. That's mikeylive.com. You can go and read the business. You know what I mean? Yeah, go and read the business. Right. Oh, yeah. So here's the next thing I want to tell you about, by that fire, boy. Fire at the Kinko property, you know, that broke out yesterday, boy, and you know, it drew the attention of a lot of people. Yeah, standing in St. Andrew, Hope. They say, why fire in the place, boy? Now, according to the owner, it was all waste that they had there, you know, from when they were clearing the site and stuff like that, when they were clearing all the field and stuff that they had piled. And they say nobody really attended to it for a while, so they don't understand how it caught fire. They said it happened at the outskirts of the cane field, so it's not like they had any major destruction or damage as a result of the fire. They say the fire got under control at about 10 p.m. last night. The first call that they got could have been somewhere around 8 o'clock. You understand? So people were called. I get a real call about that. Mikey, fire in the place, boy, fire in the place. You know what I mean? Yeah, so they're saying, you know what? Thanks for the concern, but nothing of value was destroyed. But they are still working to determine the actual cause of fire, because they did not know workers and things like that. And yesterday was a holiday and things like that. So they don't understand how that really happened. You know what I mean? Yeah, boy, have a glass of water there. Fine, I'll drink some water in the program tonight, boy. You know, according to my colleagues at UEFM, you know, they were looking into a story, you understand, and we want to tell you about it too. You understand, a 49-year-old Black Bay resident, Jeremiah Harris, was arrested on drug charges last week. Now, according to reports, he has been granted bail. He attended court this morning. According to media reports, he was charged for importing, possession, and trafficking cannabis, which was confiscated by the Royal Grenada Police Force drug squad during a search on the Dolly Sea at Port St. George last Friday. Now, they're saying that he was granted $80,000 bail with 2 sureties and some conditions, and is expected to reappear in court on the 6th of September 2019. You know what I mean? We were not able to independently verify the report. You understand? But of course, it's out there. How are we looking for time? I'm doing some in the program now, but we'll do that in a moment. Olia! We are hearing stories of a child who somewhat had a miraculous recovery. A 9-year-old boy, not a baby. A 9-year-old boy, according to report, was told he may not be able to walk again. Falling from a height 10 to 12 feet to know. They say they say the youth fall on his head, the small man fall on his head. You understand? And they say, well, when he day is done, he will make it again, because that fall was dead. We will join a special report right now. KOMG or carry for this.
9-year-old Jordan Stafford is walking again after being told he may be confined to a wheelchair for the rest of his life. Jordan was among a group of children from Glad Tidings Assembly who went to Grenada to be part of a one-week camp back in April where he fell. G.L. Charles, president of the Youth Ministries at Glad Tidings, spoke of what transpired.
On day one, we went down and we were very, very excited. When we went to camp, we had some cleaning to do. So we did our cleaning and then we all came together at the kitchen area and we had our first devotion. After devotions, we sent the children up to put their things away, their Bibles, and to come back to eat supper. There was one adult who went with them. And then we had an incident that no one expected to happen. A child fell, and he fell from the upstairs height, which we were told was between 10 to 12 feet. That night we went to hospital, the general hospital, because he was moved from Mirabeau to the general hospital. And we were waiting, that's myself, the assistant president, his Jordan's father, and there were some others as well. And when we saw Jordan, he was lying on a bed. They were moving him to get x-ray done. We eventually went into his room because he was admitted, and he saw his father and he tried to get up the bed to embrace his father. And then he spoke to his father, which was good news for us because we thought about many things that could have happened. And from that time, even before, from the moment he fell, the children, the campers, they were praying. They were walking up and down that room praying.
Lindona Charles, Jordan's mother, said upon hearing of her son's accident, she was traumatized and is thanking God that Jordan is alive today.
When I heard the news, I was traumatized. So many different things went through my mind. At one time, I just, in the spirit, I saw this child dead. I saw that this child was just a goner. But I remember as I got the phone call, I began to pray, I began to intercede, and I began to go before God, and I asked God, why? And his assurance was to me is, all is well. He said, all is well. So that was his word that I got before I went to Grenada. But when I went to Grenada on the Thursday, and I saw that child in that bed, my God, everything fly out. Everything what the Lord have said to me, it was dismissed. Because like I seen this child was just like lying there, and it's like there was no recovery for this child because his face was swollen, his head was swollen, he was so much in pain. And even though he tried to reach out to me, but then he was crying out for pain. And I myself began to cry. But then while I was kneeling before this bed again praying, I remember the Lord said, it is well. It is well. He said it is healed. And you know, even though the police and them said that this child would not be well, he will be crippled for life. He will be confined to a wheelchair. Even some of the nurses said that they never imagined or even thought that this child will live. But what they saw, even when the child came into the hospital. But I just thank God today that this child is alive. And I can also only say, to God be the glory. For God, the hands of God have came down and saved this child, delivered this child, and make him whole. That today, I thank God, even from the doctor, there is no negative report, there is no after effect. I give God the praise, and there shall be none.
Jordan is thankful he is able to live a normal life after his accident.
I thank God for giving me life and strength, and I just thank God for saving me and for making me a strength to walk, to eat, and to stand God, because before I was eating, I was walking, but thank God for giving me life and strength.
Jordan spent a few days in hospital before he was able to rejoin the camp. He is back to school and does not have any complaints of pain.
Yo, dog. You see what I'm talking about, boy? You know, God is a miracle working God. And God kind of cocky too, you know. You know, God like to show you that he's able, you know. You know what I mean? Cocky. Because he does do things so you could see. You know? Oh, all I say I can do it, let me show all you. You know what I mean? Anyway, lately that talk, they good going small, man. And then people pray. Yeah, some people all want to pray for too, you know. But we'll talk about that after the live. We are moving on. Oh, yeah. Last weekend was a weekend with a difference. The sound of Etana and Kimani Mali on one stage, not in New York, not in Pennsylvania, not in Japan, not in England, in Grenada, giving Grenadian patrons a treat. The Grenada Music Festival took things to another level, people. I don't even want to talk about the fact that it was an incident-free 3 nights of entertainment and fun. An incident-free. I don't want to talk about the fact that all 3 nights was well attended by patrons. I don't want to talk about the fact that Grenadians seem to have really enjoyed themselves on all 3 nights. I don't want to talk about the fact that the promoters stood up against all odds to make sure that the event happened. And not only happened, to the satisfaction of the patrons. So then the question was asked to the man himself, the organizer, the main organizer, Mr. Steve Duncan. What it is really? Now he said nothing is harder than starting an engine that sits dormant for a long period of time. He's the chairperson. He said that the show had to go on for the long-term benefit of the country. And someone had to take the risk. That someone ended up being Steve Duncan. People on the first night were treated to Freddie Jackson and Eddie Bullen and all, you know, all the soul and the rhythm and soul and the kind of business. You know what I mean? People who don't even know nothing about them kind of music showed up anyway. Second night, reggae, dancehall, Busy Signal, Etana, Kimani Mali and the crew. I don't even want to talk about soca. Leave me alone. I ain't talking about soca tonight. We flatten the place. You know, I mean people. So this was it right there. The Grenada Music Festival, it seems, is here to stay. All right, thank you. I say you share your bed. All right, there you go. The shelter. We'll talk. All right, so yeah, we'll give them a clap, people. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, we are moving on. This is Mikey Live. How we looking for time? When my timekeeper is sleeping on me tonight, or what it is? Where's my timekeeper tonight? Listen, we have to stay on track with the time, you know. Next thing before you know, time to go. All right. Audio. So the next story that we want to tell you about on the program is that you know that Scotiabank workers on Friday had a sick out, particularly the St. George's branch. So things were at a standstill. Persons were only able to go to the teller and conduct business. All right. So this morning, things appeared to be normal, but only one recognized difference, that some of the workers, they were wearing these like ribbons. You understand? It's really unclear as to what really the point of contention is. But what we gathered is that it had to do with workers and the severance packages and stuff like that, for persons who don't really want to move over to the new institution now, because right, good. So the institution that they once competed against, they're not going to be asked to work with that institution. Some people don't want to do that, and for those who don't want to do that, what's in it for them? You understand? And for even those who are doing that, what happens to their benefits? Does it transfer to the new job? Yeah, the benefits and so on that they would have accumulated over the period of time working with Scotiabank. So there's a whole lot of issues. You understand? And so they are protesting that they had a high-level meeting last Thursday, and following the meeting, will place mashup. So let's see what goes on from there. You understand? I don't want me online banking and thing with Scotia, because it's a good bank, and the communal and the GUTC, everybody doing good, Quad bank, all of them, we're doing it. Olio, we learned today that while parents were nervously waiting for the results of the CPEA, that was not to be, because, well, there's a delay in the processing of the information and stuff like that. So the Ministry of Education, Human Resource Development and Religious Affairs, they sent out a press release today informing stakeholders that due to technical challenges with the processing of the data for the Caribbean Primary Exit Assessment, the CPEA, the Caribbean Examination Council, the CXC, has advised of a delay in the release of results for 2019. Now, the council has given the assurance that it is making every effort to have the quality assurance processes completed within the shortest possible time, and has extended to the ministry an apology for any inconvenience that this delay may cause. Now, the ministry said that they will duly notify all stakeholders as soon as the results become available. So for now, for the persons who are asking, when will the results be available? Well, based on the communication that we had from the ministry, that is not yet known. All right, and the ministry at least commits to releasing the information as soon as it is available to do so. But I believe, parents, I understand the nervousness and the anxiety and so on, but listen to this, man. You should be more concerned about the child's how the child is surviving within the school system and so on, whether or not they are ready, not just to up and out. No, because sometimes they go up, and when they leave school, they ain't pick up nothing good. You understand? So yeah, easy breezy. Yeah, if through the examination it is determined that they are not ready for secondary school, then that's fine. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with spending an extra year so that they can become a little more prepared. Yeah. Would you drive a car with a flat tire when you go out the door and you're ready to go to work and you see one of your tires flat? Would you drive it? Would you? If you're hungry and you're cooking your food and you juke the chicken and you realize the chicken still kind of hard, like yard full of cooking or something, would you still eat it? Just to satisfy your hunger, even if you know it's going to make you sick. And the same principle applies to your students. Don't worry yourself. Yeah, somebody go shoo-shoo, and that's why you're trying to save, you're trying to save face. So somebody go shoo-shoo. But a small thing at the end of the day is your child that's going to make you proud, because they stayed back a little, 1 year, to fix up the, oil the engine a little more, and then, mash up the place. So take your time. Everything will be well. Take your time. Right. Well, the Royal Grenada Police Force. How we looking for time? Watch now. I got to fire that timekeeper. I ain't seen me time on the program, you know. I ain't seen me time on the program. No, the Royal Grenada Police Force, they were having their open house today. You understand? So they had on display a couple little things and things now. Because what they're saying, they just want people to have an idea as to what the various instruments that they use, little, you know, things that they use to do their daily task. You understand? So we had a couple things. You understand? In this, you would see things like cutlasses, weapons that some people use that they confiscated. You will see the various types of illegal or illicit drugs. They had traffic signs, you know. So it was a whole display for a lot of things that the police use. They had a handcuff. You see, they also uniforms and different things. You know, yeah, it was a really nice little session. All right. They showed the items from the different departments. This was all part of the Royal Grenada Police Force's Police Week of activities held under the theme United We Stand to Fight Against Sexual Abuse and Violent Crimes while promoting road safety and healthier lifestyles. All right. So these are some of the things that they had on display. You know what I mean? The uniform and things like that. They had guns, they had traffic signs and things like that. They had the clamp, they show you, you know, all them little thing and them there. I mean, all the glove, what them police and them those use, and the speed gun and all them kind of thing like that, you know. Right. You see that? Good. Alright. So here we have the various rifles and shotguns and pistols and so on that they use, right? They riot guns and so on, you know what I mean? Tear gas. Alright, people. These are some of the things that the fire department use sometimes when there are when there are crashes and, you know, or when there's a fire and stuff like that, and they have to go put it out. These are some of the things that they use as well. So it was a nice, like a good like a session, you know what I mean? All right. How are we looking for time? All you. So we have to tell all you about counterfeit notes, because there are counterfeit notes out there. Also, one of the biggest stories we're going to be telling you about tonight, the US adds Grenada and 9 other countries to its visa waiver program. So I want to tell you about that, but we need to take a break. Let's take a minute break and then come back, and when we come back, we'll tell you about that, because I think that's the biggest story for the night.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom
for me and you.
I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. What a wonderful world.
And so it begins, a journey like no other. Jungles so lush, they make emeralds jealous. Water that sparkles like diamonds. Mountains with more facets than precious gems. This is where good times are had, where love is strengthened, where memories are formed. And when it all comes to an end, bring home something that will never fade. Colombian Emeralds International. Bring home more than a memory.
The Courts Home event is finally here. Now is the time to get all you need for your home. Create your sweet retreat with our bedroom ranges. Love Fill up the family room with high-definition TVs, entertainment systems, comfy sofas or sectionals. Enjoy more home dining with a new set. Getting into home fitness? We've got that too. And find something shiny and new for your kitchen. All at the Courts Home Event, where we have it all.
We all look forward to our retirement, enjoying our golden years with family, friends, and loved ones. The best way to secure an income during retirement is through investments, savings, and an NIS pension. Thanks to improvements in healthcare, Grenadians are living longer, healthier lives. These years also need to be covered by a pension to guarantee a comfortable life. Today you contribute 9% and retire at age 60. But as benefit expenses continue to rise, and with longer lifespans, the NIS won't be able to provide pensions and other social security benefits at this rate. To continue providing benefits, the NIS will need to increase the contribution rate from 9% to 11%, a 2% overall increase shared between you and your employer. The retirement age will gradually increase from 60 to 65 over an extended period. Let's put this into perspective. If you earn $1,500 today, your contribution is $60 and your employer pays $75. With a 2% increase shared between you and your employer, you'll now pay $75 and your employer will pay $90. That's only a $15 increase. These are the types of social security changes being made worldwide. In fact, Grenada has one of the lowest pension age and contribution rates in the region. With these small changes, you'll be able to continue enjoying all social security benefits and retire between age 60 and 65 with the guarantee of a pension from the NIS. If these adjustments aren't made now, then by 2035, the NIS will need to increase your contribution rate to 22.5%. So, what can you do? Support the incremental changes and continue with the solidarity of the Grenadian people. A little change today for a convenient, happy future.
All right, thank you guys, and welcome back to Mikey Live. As I said to you, we're about to tell you about probably one of our biggest story for tonight. All right, I'm not even talking about. Listen, me ain't talking about nothing about no basketball last night, because I mean, there's a wrap on that, you know. Who wonder? Yeah, I mean, we ain't talking about basketball. Let's move on. You know, I mean, don't come and tell me to talk about no basketball. You know, I mean, we win and we win. Right. Oh yeah. So, let's go on the counterfeit first, right? Now, there are counterfeit notes in circulation, but these counterfeit notes are the actual paper notes, all right? And they want you to know about that. Now, the Financial Intelligence Unit of the Royal Grenada Police Force has confirmed that a sum of counterfeit EC paper notes has been confiscated in Grenada. Now, the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, the ECCB, therefore advises the public to be alert when conducting transactions. The ECCB further advises the public that the features of the genuine EC paper notes include golden fishes on the back of the notes around the silver compass rose, where there is an area printed with a special iridescent ink, which has a golden sheen. Now, when the note is moved around in the light, the image of several fishes appear and disappears. A highly reflective silver foil at the top right-hand corner of the front of the notes, which shows the denomination and the letters ECCB in small prints. And there are other features that we'd like to share with you. What we will tell you to do is just visit our website. We have placed the information there, at least so that persons will be able to see it. And you know, once you see it, then you know. All right, so you don't become a victim of counterfeit notes. And you know what I mean, and they say everybody with these notes, if you're found with it, you can get yourself in real problems. Now, the biggest story that I'll be telling you for today is the following. According to media reports, Grenada is now included together with 9 other countries to the United States Visa Waiver Program, the VWP. This has come from the U.S. Department of State, where Secretary of State Mike Pompeo noted that the development is part of a series of transformations the program is going through. Now, there are some other countries like Uruguay, Antigua, Trinidad and Tobago, Malaysia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, who has Hong Kong, the Cayman Islands and stuff like that, who's included. All right. Now, Pompeo says that when it takes effect, nationals included in the program traveling to the United States will be permitted a stay of a maximum of 180 days for tourism or business purposes. But these are the only purposes, nothing else. Tourism or business purposes. You know what I mean? However, Pompeo reiterated that a stay over 180 days will therefore require a visa. So once you want to stay within the 180 days, that ain't bad. You need, or give us a clap on the program. And I could tell you what happened too, you know. I could tell all you what happened. But all you gonna believe me. Because for the past 3 weeks, we've been campaigning and telling them, boy and them, if all continue to put visa for us, we go return the favor. We've been telling all of that. Don't make all the feel all the thing more important than we think, and they smell your heart. You know what I mean? They smell your heart. Don't make all the feel all the country more valuable than us. And we say we're going to reciprocate. Anybody who give visa restriction to Grenadians, we return the favor. They watch the program and they realize we serious. I'll give us a clap on the program. Pull up my pants. Give us a clap on the program. Anyway, getting back to the business. Now, the U.S. Secretary of State added that the new countries joining the program, which will take effect at a date yet to be announced, have demonstrated beyond doubt their ability to protect their borders, raise human development index, and maintain a good passport index. Nationals included in the program, they are required to apply for a travel authorization through the electronic system for travel authorizations, that's the ESTA online, before departing to the United States. Preferably at least 72 hours in advance. 72 hours in advance, right? Now, the VWP is a program of the United States government which allows citizens of specific countries to travel to the United States for tourism, business, or while in transit for up to 90 days without having to obtain a visa. Now, the program applies to the United States as well as the U.S. territories of Puerto Rico and the United States Virgin Islands in the Caribbean, with limited application to other U.S. territories. All give us a clap on the program. All you want to play, I'll give us a clap on the program. We call them, tell them change their mind. Take all the time in us, you know. Yeah, that be there. The program working, I'll give the program a clap. Give the program a clap. Somebody say thank you, Mikey. Oh God, don't play with us and we turning up the place, boy. Next story now, Lily Lolo now. We're moving on. So remember, key things to note. This has not yet gone in effect, all right? They have not given a date for this to commence, all right? So don't want to see Mikey say. There's not any date yet announced for the commencement of the poke, of the inclusion of Grenada and so. All right, good. Let me go again. No, we're giving all the news in all. Let me go. All right, all you. So, boy, with just a few more days left, hundreds of Venezuelan migrants, they are trying to beat the deadline for registration in Trinidad and Tobago, boy. Now, at the Queen's Park Oval venue, Tuesday morning, there was some measure of disorder. Anxious Venezuelans, they're trying to get ahead of each other to ensure that they get registered. To ensure that they get registered, people. If you see thing, you know, it breaks your heart. You know, we join the TTT Live for a report on this.
With 3 more days left, hundreds of Venezuelan migrants are trying to beat the deadline for registration. At the Queen's Park Oval venue this morning, there was some measure of disorder and anxious Venezuelans tried to get ahead of each other to ensure they got registered. This prompted Minister of National Security Stuart Young, who visited the venue, to appeal for calm and order.
If you all do not listen to instructions, we are going to delay the process. If you do not listen to instructions, the process will be delayed. Please get back into line.
Speaking with the media afterwards, Minister Young said he expected the increase in the number of migrants wanting to register.
We expected, at all points in time, we expected coming closer to the end of the process, there would be more people coming forward. We continue to do exactly what it is we have to do. There is not going to be any extension of the registration process. So now
One Venezuelan expressed disappointment with the length of time he has been waiting to be registered, and he blamed it on the process.
I have to here go Friday. I say Friday night, Saturday, and now yesterday, Monday. Today's Tuesday, no? So, what is the problem now?
Even as concerns are being raised about the looming end of the migrant registration process, there are Good Samaritans coming out to the assistance of those hoping to be registered. One such individual is Gloria Lumsden. Having lived in Venezuela for 32 years, she said never in her wildest dreams could she even imagine that the people would be in this condition. She said it pains her heart to see the state of the country, which has prompted many Venezuelan nationals to flee to seek sanctuary in Trinidad and Tobago.
Because we are here today and we never know what can happen to us tomorrow. I reach out my heart to them and I pray to God that Trinidadians will think and try to do their best to help these people to be able to for their children to be able to live, give them a shelter, or do their best to help them, because we never know. Even last year, look at the amount of islands that was affected by flood and so much situations.
With the help of a small group of like-minded individuals, Ms. Lumsden said they are trying to supply items which would make the wait to be registered a bit more bearable.
We are trying to provide shelters with my boss, and we are providing shelters. We have shelter for over 100 or more people, they will be giving them breakfast and all these things. But some of them is afraid to move from the line where they are sitting because there are so much people, they don't know if they would lose their spot. So what we took time to do is to bring out sheets and pillows and whatever we can do to support them in whatever way we could.
Yo, that dread. I understand that there's a Grenadian who's also doing some helping in Tobago. We take a break. When we return, we've got the national report and the weather.
We all look forward to our retirement, enjoying our golden years with family, friends, and loved ones. The best way to secure an income during retirement is through investments, savings, and an NIS pension. Thanks to improvements in healthcare, Grenadians are living longer, healthier lives. These years also need to be covered by a pension to guarantee a comfortable life. Today you contribute 9% and retire at age 60. But as benefit expenses continue to rise, and with longer lifespans, the NIS won't be able to provide pensions and other social security benefits at this rate. To continue providing benefits, the NIS will need to increase the contribution rate from 9% to 11%. A 2% overall increase shared between you and your employer. The retirement age will gradually increase from 60 to 65 over an extended period. Let's put this into perspective. If you earn $1,500 today, your contribution is $60 and your employer pays $75. With a 2% increase shared between you and your employer, you'll now pay $75 and your employer will pay $90. That's only a $15 increase. These are the types of social security changes being made worldwide. In fact, Grenada has one of the lowest pension age and contribution rate in the region. With these small changes, you'll be able to continue enjoying all social security benefits and retire between age 60 and 65 with the guarantee of a pension from the NIS. If these adjustments aren't made now, then by 2035, the NIS will need to increase your contribution rate to 22.5%. So, what can you do? Support the incremental changes and continue with the solidarity of the Grenadian people. A little change today for a convenient, happy future.
This is your year of mega breakthrough. Don't miss the prophetic camp meeting with international guest speaker Prophet Janelle Brown in Grenada at the Grenada Youth Cultural and Recreational Center, Moulin Rouge, Grenance. Friday, June 21st at 6:30 p.m. Saturday, June 22nd at 6:30 p.m. and Sunday, June 23rd at 6:30 p.m. Come believing God for your healing and breakthrough. This is your year of mega breakthrough.
The Child Protection Authority says join them on Sunday, June 16th at the Cuthbert Peters Park in Guelph as they present a day of sporting events with a difference. Child protection in sports. The Child Protection Authority, a day of enlightenment, enthusiasm, and enjoyment. There will be health checks, friendly matches, fun activities, and more. Child protection in sports. June 16th, Father's Day, Cuthbert Peters Park in Guelph. From 12 noon to 6 p.m. Come be a champion against child abuse. See you there.
All right, people, so here's what we've got right now for you is the national report. And when we are done with the national report, we're going to quickly come to the weather, all right? I want to say hello to all the folks who are viewing us for the first time.
Parametric insurance policy to be launched for fisherfolk next month. Details to this story and more in the national report. With the details to the news for Tuesday, June 11th, I am Leslie Ann Johnson. Grenada will launch a new facility next month that is designed to support climate resilience by protecting the food security of fisherfolk and promoting sustainable livelihood in the fishing sector. COAST, the Caribbean Ocean Assets Sustainability Facility, is being implemented in collaboration with the Caribbean Catastrophe Risk Insurance Facility, the CCRIF. Senator Winston Garraway, Minister with responsibility for disaster management and information, spoke briefly to the facility when he addressed the 151st meeting of the Sustainable Development Council on Friday.
The World Bank came in with the technical team, along with technical team from CRIF, and did the necessary consultation to find the information that is necessary to come up with a parametric insurance policy that in the event of excessive rainfall or storm surge or hurricane that could cause severe damage to the fishing stock and the fishers' equipment and just name it, there will be the initial payout to bring us back to close to where we were prior to the event.
The parametric insurance will be an additional incentive for the fishing industry in the Tri-Island state. Grenada is adopting a multi-sectoral approach towards combating money laundering and financial terrorism as it prepares for the fourth round of mutual evaluation in 2020. In light of this, the Financial Intelligence Unit and the Caribbean Financial Action Task Force are engaging various sectors of the economy for 3 days on the role they can play in curbing money laundering and other financial crimes. The Caribbean Financial Action Task Force, CFATF, mutual evaluation of Grenada will be conducted in June 2020. Head of the FIU, Tafawa Pierre, says Grenada is edging closer to formulating its local anti-money laundering regime after carefully heeding to the 40 recommendations of the Financial Action Task Force. The FATF recommendations are the internationally endorsed global standards against money laundering and terrorist financing, which increase transparency and enable countries to successfully take action against any illicit use of their financial systems.
Ensuring that it meets the requisite standard, not just through technical compliance, but most importantly, through effectiveness. We are therefore at a critical juncture and stage of the mutual evaluation process. This training for the next 3 days acts as a precursor to the mutual evaluation process, which will be conducted in Grenada in June of 2020. And indeed, it is a capacity building block as we seek in-depth and greater understanding of the process.
Attorney General and Chairman of the Anti-Money Laundering and Combating Terrorism Commission, Darshan Ramdani, described the workshop as timely. He outlined government's plans to collaborate with every sector to build a solid financial infrastructure that can combat financial crimes.
The government of Grenada is cognizant of the fact that the international financial sector is plagued with a multiplicity of threats and vulnerabilities to money laundering and terrorism financing, and therefore joins with the CFATF member jurisdictions to implement legislation to safeguard its financial infrastructure. We have been taking steps to build a solid financial infrastructure in order to combat money laundering, terrorism financing, and the proliferation of weapons of mass destruction within the region throughout the world. We are all touched by it. The government have agreed to employ and have adopted a multi-sectorial approach to combat money laundering.
Participants of the workshop include government departments, financial institutions, and designated non-financial businesses and professions. This is the National Report. More news after the break.
Every summer, the Spice Island of Grenada is transformed into the Caribbean's biggest party, Spice Man. Coming down to Grenada. Come experience the warmth of our people, trending theme fats, the revelry, the pageantry, and why we are the Jab Nation. The Kids Our Future shines on August 3rd in the Children's Carnival Frolic and the Junior Calypso Show. 7 beauties take center stage as the Queen of Carnival is crowned on majestic Thursday, August 8th. The prestigious Soca and Groovy Monarchs are crowned on Carnival Friday night, August 9th. Enjoy the pulsating rhythms of the Still Pan at the Junior and the Senior Panorama on Carnival Saturday, August 10th, and Real Steel, August 17th. The March Gras crowns the Calypso Monarch on Carnival Sunday, August 11th. 2 days of frolicking in the Caribbean sun kicks off on Monday morning, August 12th, with the biggest juve in the world, followed by pageant and Monday night mass. The creativity and splendor of our mass parades on the road Carnival Tuesday, August 13th. Join us in the Jab Nation of Grenada, August 8th to 12th for Spice Mass 2019. Many events, one carnival.
Continuing the news, Grenada has again been praised for its leadership role in anti-corruption practices, management and leadership skills being emulated by other Commonwealth member countries. It was singled out at the start of a 3-day review workshop on the work of Grenada's Center of Excellence Series Senior Leadership and Management Training. While praising Grenada's role, Interim Advisor and Head of Public Sector Governance of the Commonwealth Secretariat, Dr. Roger Karanteng, also warned against complacency.
You want to know, we want to hear from you. You want to know how it has benefited you. You want to know what can we do better, what can we do next. Because when you are with the winning horse, you want to make sure that the winning horse is always in good shape. But I must also warn you, because the chairman makes complacency. When the Secretary General mentioned that Grenada is the leader in terms of the pace setter, the trailblazer, as far as the Commonwealth Secretariat is concerned, within the Commonwealth Caribbean. People now turn to me, and everybody wants me to come to their country to do what I've done in Grenada over there. So that means that you're going to have competitors.
The Integrity Commission has been collaborating with the Commonwealth Secretariat and the Department of Public Administration to host workshops that cover areas in management, leadership, ethics, anti-corruption, and corporate governance, among others. The chairman of the Integrity Commission, Lady Anande Trotman Joseph, is pleased that Grenada's hard work is being recognized internationally.
Grenada was lauded by the Commonwealth Secretary General, Baroness Scotland, Patricia Scotland, as indeed being the organization among us here in the region that is standing head and shoulders above the others in terms of our effort and our commitment to our work. It is this that I want to flag and once again recognize the committed and selfless work of the technical staff and the commissioners of the Integrity and Anti-Corruption Commission of Grenada. Because we're small, we work hard, we are committed, even at times we're required by law to be quiet and secret about what we do, we have to do it. And the Baroness Scotland validated our course of work as she called on the others to follow the path of doing their duty, of investigating corruption.
Participants include chief executive officers and persons in leadership positions from statutory bodies and various stakeholders, including the Department of Audit, Office of the Ombudsman, the Media Association, civil society, and others. The Fire Department of the Royal Grenada Police Force is partnering with the National Disaster Management Agency, NADMA, to ensure safety and security of all during the Atlantic hurricane season. Sergeant Adrian Panchu says while its substantive role is that of fire prevention, the department has an essential role to play in disaster mitigation.
Thank you very much, and we do have to cut right now, folks. We do have to apologize because we have run out of time, and so we have to move on, all right? Thank you, Leslie, and everyone else who were part of the production. And here we have, just before we run off, the weather for you. Weather is expected to be partly cloudy with a low chance of a few brief showers. Winds easterly, that's northeasterly to east southeasterly at 12 to 22 miles per hour, gusting higher at times. Seas moderate, waves up to 7 feet in open waters, and tides will be high at 11 p.m. And that's your weather report, folks, and I want to say thank you again for viewing the program. That's as far as we can go. Thank you to all the folks who are usually on the Mikey Live program. We will touch base with you tomorrow. I may have an update for you on that visa story tomorrow. All right, guys. Thank you very much again, and God bless you. Those of you who are on WPG10, we want to say thank you for viewing. Jay and the technical team at WPG10, thank you as well. Folks, this is where we come to an end to the program, all right? And free credit for some of you tomorrow, God's willing. Let's go! In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we all say, ja! No! Good night, everyone. We have to run, all right? Time is gone.